Now, there are critics who say that PRENDA has a much larger agenda. In fact, I think in Ms. Young's testimony, she states that this bill represents a duplicitous attempt to address racial and gender discrimination. The challenge I have with that is that somehow protecting an unborn child from being aborted on the basis of race, that's racism, but taking the life of an unborn child on the basis of race is not racism. And protecting a little girl from being aborted because she's a little girl rather than a little boy, that's gender discrimination. But taking the life of a little girl because she's a little girl instead of a little boy, that's not gender discrimination. And that's hard for me to understand. Is your testimony intended to be a duplicitous attempt to address racial and gender discrimination? Is that your testimony?
There's no duplicity here, and in all honesty, Congressman, I am, along with the National Black Pro-Life Coalition, working to end the targeting of the black community. It's an all-out war. It truly is, because we are being targeted, and Planned Parenthood is behind that targeting. Here in Congress in 2012, the Black Congressional Caucus, the women of the Black Congressional Caucus, and the Pro-Life Caucus hosted an event that was funded by the Ford Foundation, on whose board Cecile Richards, the president of Planned Parenthood, sits. And in that forum, they were training people, the attendees, on how to get around the message that the billboards that went up in 2010 in Georgia, which I was a part of that initiative, how to get around that message. And they gave them 5 particular points that included changing the conversation and challenging the pro-life community on why they're trying to make the disparities in health care worse. They told them to change the conversation and talk about access to health care, that black women lack access to health care. Well, number one, abortion is not health care. And abortion all across this country is maiming and wounding women and actually killing them, like Tanya Reeves, who was killed in a Planned Parenthood at 18 South Michigan Avenue in Chicago when they botched the abortion and left her laying there for more than 5 hours, bleeding before they saw emergency help too little too late. So the racial component that PRENDA would protect, would provide, would have allowed the family of Tanya Reeves, the dad of the baby, and grandparents to pursue Planned Parenthood, who was operating their Negro Project when they killed Tanya's 5-month-old baby and Tanya.